Well, hello there. Well, hello. Let's see here. What are we doing today? What are we doing today? Fuck. They're streaming to Kick and to Shorts and to YouTube is fucking up my entire flow for streaming. Jesus Christ. This shit's hard as fuck to organize my thoughts. Assuming that I had any organization to my thoughts before, now it's definitely fucking difficult, okay? Okay. Gotta switch the scenes on both of those, and here we are. Why is there a yellow box around my entire monitor? Oh, is it because of... If I were to lock it? Okay, that's why. All right, what is going on in the world today? Anybody have any fucking clue? Did anything interesting happen today? Let's look at top headlines. Oh shit, the truth about Josh Peck and Drake Bell. I want to see that. Oh man, you know what? I kind of want to go over the Wick Twitter flub, but I also don't know if that's like a super great idea. Because it was just a flub. It wasn't actual racism, you know? But, let's see. I don't have any, like, hardcore things to go over today. I'm also, like, kind of tired. I had to drive my cat to the not the emergency vet, because he didn't need, like, surgery or anything, but he hadn't eaten in, like, 3 or 4 days. And I had to start like busting out the, you know, not the Simpsons, the SpongeBob meme, the grab the funnel, right? I had to grab the syringe and just start shoving food down his throat so that he would live to make it to the vet. So I'm a little bit fucking tired. I have no plans for today. I spent the past, like, I'm going to say hour. It's funny because I'm pretty sure that the editor, let me make sure before I say this and look stupid. If I go to our shorts, yeah, he posted me talking about liking to play 1979, and I've just been playing that on a loop. Procrastinating streaming, procrastinating schoolwork and everything because I'm just like tired. I'm like dead inside, but I got good at it. You know what? That's what we're gonna do because there's no one in chat right now. Holy shit, Sondsol. Bob Alinsky literally said in his opening statement he's mad because Biden screwed over America's enemies. Link that, all right? And I'm going to procrastinate starting the stream until there's more people in here. And I'm going to play this song again because it's just addicting to fucking play. Let's fucking go. Are you guys ready? Actually, I don't know how much of a delay there is between the sound getting to my ears. Or like there's possibly a delay, all right? If there's a delay, you have to tell me. Let me see. feel depressed or anything, but it's just like I can't like force myself to do anything. But I have just been sitting here just for like the past like 2 hours. I keep on looking at the time. I'm like, I should either stream or like do homework. And then I would like, okay, I'm gonna see if I can like get this part, like, you know, I'm gonna see if I can get that part perfect. And then I look down, it's been a fucking hour. I'm like, ah, damn it. I really should do something. I really should, you know, do just like one goddamn thing. The one goddamn thing. But why is the bass so fucking crazy heavy on this guitar, dude? This is not the guitar that I usually play on. Just a bit emo. See, I talked about this yesterday, right at the beginning of stream. I don't really like. No, that's a lie. I've never really been a big fan throughout my entire life of emo music. And I've always fucking hated Smashing Pumpkins. I've hated the Smashing Pumpkins so fucking hard, dude. But you should check my DMs. Oh, hello. I know. I was gonna talk about that. Smashing Pumpkins have good jam songs. I mean, here, one sec. Let me turn the volume on this monster amp all the way off, and then change the. They got like the. Is it the reverb that's like fucking the whole thing up? Something super fucky, and I can't tell what it is. This amp I don't use very much because it's very big. Okay, something sounds way better. It feels good to play, right? Like, I don't know, but I've never really been a big fan of like, especially most 90s music. I fucking hate 90s music with a fucking passion, with the exception of East Coast gangster rap. Okay, but I'm usually what is it? Is the bass on the amp just like fucking giga crazy? Is that what it is? Because I can feel my teeth fucking vibrating, dude. Fuck me. Okay, we're not gonna do like a super long fucking music segment on this because that'll make Tron mad. Something like that. I don't listen to Slayer, okay, bro. I don't listen to Slayer. All right. If you want to do, make sure you use the keyword pay attention. Yeah, pay attention. Thank you for reminding me. Listen. You know what? Instead of fucking like giving me a million what do you call them? Suggestions, we'll just do some I do not understand the amp settings on this thing. I think that the fuck. 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 That's about all I got. We'll do we'll pick a good guitar tone and we'll do some buttery soulful. Actually, let's do some fucking. We got some motherfucking Texas blues. Texas blues guitar backing track. Let's do some fucking Texas blues, bro, in the E. But I'm tuned to E flat. E flat. Please tell me there's an E flat in here. Thank God I'm tuned to E flat. All right, see, I can't solo very well. All right, that's the lesson that we just learned. We learned the lesson. I cannot solo very good. You need to have your guitar hooked up for debates, and then if they start doing their doing their best impression of a Skyrim NPC, you just start playing it. Just start playing fucking like Sound of Silence. Can you fucking imagine? Just like like. Oh wait, why? Can you fucking imagine like someone's going off instead of like doing the Destiny piano thing, you just start hearing
"Hello darkness, my old friend."
That shit would be fucking good. Okay, let's actually stream, I guess. That's not what I wanted to click. That's what I wanted to click.
I now recognize Mr. Bobulinski for his opening statement.
Should I allow Hunter to give his opening statement first?
This is the Blaze TV, and they're trying. And you're telling me, hold on, really quick, gas. You are telling me that the Blaze TV put up this video, a conservative with the title "Tony Bobulinski rips corrupts Biden's" at House hearing, and he's actually just saying that he's mad because they screwed over America's enemies, and they're trying to present that in a good. They didn't edit out the part. Okay.
I now recognize Mr. Bobulinski for his opening statement.
Wait, hold on. I actually
give his opening statement first.
Can I see something really quick? Biden impeachment inquiry. Is there a slated end date on this? James Comer was named head of the investigations 12 days earlier. Is there an end? Did they say like we can investigate for like 3 months and then we have to give it up? Or is this just like we can investigate you and try and pull your son into meetings and shit like that into perpetuity until we lose power? One sec. Scrolling through YouTube Shorts live is fucking nuts. I'm sure. House Committee investigations. How long can they go for? Does anybody know? Support for inquiry. Oh man. Is this among Oh, this is among registered voters. Damn, that's pretty brutal. Okay. We'll watch.
First, doesn't appear Mr. Biden showed up for his public hearing, so we'll recognize you, Mr. Bobulinski.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman, ranking members, and members of Congress. Good morning. Thank you for this opportunity to speak with you and present my truthful testimony to the American people. I sit here today under oath for one reason and one reason only. The American people deserve to hear the truth. Though the truth involving the deep corruption of the Biden family, including the malfeasance of the sitting president of the United States, might be raw and unpleasant, the American people must hear it. You're presented here today with two narratives in this investigation.
Well, hold on. It seems like the testimony so far has been truthful because they still haven't come up with any crime that could be indicted. So it does seem like it is truthful. It is truthful. It's just not helpful to them, I guess.
A false one being pushed by Joe Biden, a serial liar and fabulous, now under this impeachment investigation for public corruption. His brother, Jim Biden, a 75-year-old man who can't keep his lies straight, including under oath. And his son, Hunter Biden, a chronic drug addict facing 2 indictments with 12 counts. You also have before you the truth, confirmed by multiple Biden family business partners over many years and backed up by mountains of irrefutable evidence, including text messages, emails, documents, recordings. I am the only Biden family business partner with an impeccable military record. I'm grateful that this country has given me the freedom to be successful. I worked hard to become independently wealthy. I've taken several businesses public, sold multiple businesses to some of the world's best private equity firms. In fact, my business success is...
Man, you know what? I know that this is like the current hairstyle, right? Like the center parts or like the just off center part of your hair. But man, the only thing that I associate that with is like the rich bully character in every cartoon and every kid's show fucking ever. But now it's just like everyone has it. So now I look at everyone like they're like rich asshole bullies, dude. Pretty sure that there were other Biden family members that served. Yes, there was. He died of cancer.
Record. I'm grateful that this country has given me the freedom to be successful. I worked hard to become independently wealthy. I've taken several businesses public, sold multiple businesses to some of the world's best private equity firms. In fact, my business success is why they sought me out. However, what they have done is repugnant to me. I am here today because I'm a patriot and I'm a truth teller. We keep hearing from certain corners that our democracy is at risk and democracy is on the ballot in 24. Yet the same people preaching this mantra know better. They continue to lie directly to the American people without hesitation and remorse. Rep. Dan Goldman and Jamie Raskin, both lawyers, and Mr. Goldman, a former prosecutor with the SDNY from New York, will continue to lie today in this hearing and then go straight to the media to tell more lies. Hunter Biden's defense attorney, Abby Lowell, weaponizes letters to Congress to try to smear my name
Mr. Chairman.
Misstate the cold hard facts
Mr. Chairman.
in an attempt to save his powerfully connected client and his father. I challenge Mr.
Didn't Bo die in Iraq? I thought Bo Biden died of cancer. Yeah, he died of a glioblastoma. Jesus. And that's like a brain tumor, right? Yeah. The most aggressive and most common type of cancer that originates in the brain. F.
Mr. Lowell to make those claims on national television so he can be held accountable for his lies. Prior to my successful business career, I was an officer and his father. Facts. Congress to try to smear my name
Mr.
and
Chairman.
misstate the cold hard facts
Mr. Chairman.
in an attempt to save his powerfully connected client and his father.
Is that what Jamie Raskin looks like? I feel like I've certainly seen him in a picture or an interview before, but he just looks like I've never seen this person's face before in my life.
To save his powerfully connected client and his father. I challenge Mr. Lowell to make those claims on national television so he can be held accountable for his lies. Prior to my successful business career, I was an officer in the United States Navy. At Navy's Elite Naval Nuclear Power Training Command, I later served as the command's chief technology officer.
Please proceed. I apologize for the disruption from the...
Okay. Am I supposed to say it's my time, Mr. Raskin?
Yeah. But please, Mr. Bobulinski, please come to order. Mr. Bobulinski, please proceed.
Okay.
Please proceed. I apologize for the disruption from the minority.
Okay.
Well, Mr. Chairman, save his time, but he called members of this committee liars, and I just want to know whether the order and decorum requirements of House Rule 11 apply to witnesses appearing before the committee. Does it apply or does it not?
Should I address? I don't.
They're just fucking, dude. He's jerking himself off so much. Yeah, no, I know he is. Yeah, I mean, like, I know this is like a normal thing to do, to like disrupt stupid, or, you know, if you disagree with some sort of thing, like some sort of hearing, then you'll do whatever you can to disrupt it and make it fucking hard to follow and think it's, you know, whatever the fuck. I just think that at this point, do we have, let's see if there's like more recent polling. Polling impeachment inquiry. Washington Post is going to be paywalled. Let's open up 3 and just see what they have. 47% in new poll opposed to Biden impeachment inquiry. Only 40% support it and 13% are unsure. Let's see here. Oh, this was January 8th. I want to see like recent. Oh, this was January as well. Fuck. December. Do we have anything from like March? I guess February 22nd is going to be, it's Washington Post. It's going to be paywalled. Oh, well, maybe Washington Post isn't. Like he's supporting evidence. House Oversight Committee, James Comer commenced the investigation into Biden last year with allegations of high crimes and misdemeanors that Republicans have since struggled to support. 15 months later, no evidence or testimony obtained by congressional Republicans has showed that Joe Biden was a direct participant in or beneficiary of his son Hunter Biden's business dealings. And while some of Hunter Biden's close associates have placed his father in proximity to those involved with some of the deals, undermining the president's claims he was unaware of Hunter's activities, none of the allegations have met Republicans' claims that Hunter Biden's business activities have fueled an influence peddling operation that enriched Joe Biden and his family. I wish that there was like polling of the electorate. Damn. 3 stats to show the failure of the GOP's Biden impeachment push. The interest just isn't there. Pew Research Center poll last month showed that just 16% of Americans were following the inquiry at least very closely. A clear majority were following it not too closely or not at all. Positive views of the nation's economy increased, driven by Democrats. That's good. When was this? January 25th. Job performance. Democrats are more likely than Republicans to support efforts aimed at forging partisan compromises. Should try as best he can to work with GOP congressional leaders to accomplish things, even if it means disappointing some of his voters. Jesus. Democrat voters want the Democrat lawmakers to come to consensus, even if it means disappointing some Democrats. But the fucking 6-minute mark for money shot? Wait, sorry, I must have missed something. So all these people are sitting around talking smack and y'all just pay them for this crap? Dude, it fucking sucks, dude. Like, I swear to God, I think that I don't know how much legislation is passed every year, right? Like the tiny little things that nobody gives a fuck about. But I feel like if if there aren't like at least one piece of legislation passed every month. No, because then they could just like name a post office and then go back to this dumb bullshit. I don't know. It's fucking ridiculous, actually. Wide partisan divide on the House GOP's impeachment inquiry into Biden. Percent of House Representatives decision. Wait. Support or approve or disapprove. Okay, got you. Percent who think Joe Biden has blank done things that are grounds for impeachment. Definitely not. Net 21%, probably not 25, probably 24, and definitely 28. Jesus Christ, we're so fucked, dude. Grounds for impeachment aren't there. Far fewer support Biden's removal than supported Trump's. Reuters Ipsos poll last month showed just 21% overall. Just 43% of Republicans said they strongly agreed Biden should be removed from office for benefiting from his son Hunter Biden's foreign business dealings when he served as vice president. But did he? I thought that they didn't have any evidence that he did. Okay, anyways. Well, we'll just listen to this. We'll skip past the interruption.
That's right. We'll make sure.
Okay, great. I just want to restate, make sure the American people hear all these facts. Abby Lowell weaponizes letters to Congress to try to smear my name and misstate the cold hard facts in an attempt to save his powerfully connected client and his father. I challenge Mr. Lowell to make those claims on national television so he can be held accountable for his lies. Prior to my successful business career, I was an officer for over 6 years in the United States Navy's elite naval nuclear.
What's so funny is he's like saying, like, I want these people to come and testify under oath, say it on national television. Like, all of the people that came out with like strong statements against Hunter Biden initially, when push came to shove and they were about to get subpoenaed to testify under oath, they all walked back their fucking statements. They're like, well, I never said that, I never said that Joe Biden was ever part of it. I was just, saying things, but like, did he do anything with this? No, I mean, no, we talked about fishing, like
Nuclear Power Training Command as a decorated master training specialist. I later served as the commander's chief technology officer, where I held a huge security clearance from the Department of Energy and the NSA. When I left Nuclear Power Training Command, I was the #1 ranked direct input officer in the entire command. And then I jumped into the business world and public markets. While I have made a few contributions over the years to Democrats, such as Representative Ro Khanna, I don't see him, but I hope he shows up today. He sits on the Democratic side of the Oversight Committee. I'm not a political person. I come from a family with a long history of distinguished service in our nation's military, including my father, both of my grandfathers, and my brother, all of whom...
Okay, you know what? I changed my mind. I am just going to skip to about 6 minutes in because he's just...
family was willing to die for this country. I want to be crystal clear. From my direct personal experience and what I've subsequently come to learn, it is clear to me that Joe Biden was the brand being sold by the Biden family. His family's foreign influence peddling operation from China to Ukraine and elsewhere sold out to foreign actors who are seeking to gain influence and access to Joe Biden and the United States government. Joe Biden was more than a participant in and a beneficiary of his family's business. He was an active, aware enabler who met with business associates such as myself to further the business, despite being buffered by a complex scheme to maintain plausible deniability. I ask this big question. If there's no evidence of corruption here today, if Joe's conduct and the conduct of his family were fully legal and proper, then why are they so dishonest about it? Not just slight misrepresentations of fact, but deep untruths about the entire corrupt enterprise. Hunter Biden gave his transcribed interview on February 28th and lied throughout his testimony. Here's just one egregious example of Hunter's perjury.
Oh, did he say that? Sorry. it feels like he's saying nothing.
Seeking to gain the brand being sold by the
listen.
Biden family. His family's foreign influence peddling operation from China to Ukraine and elsewhere sold out to foreign actors who are seeking to gain influence and access to Joe Biden and the United States government. Joe Biden was sold by the family. Subsequently come to learn, it is clear to me that Joe Biden was the brand being sold by the Biden family. His family's foreign influence peddling operation from China to Ukraine and elsewhere sold out to foreign actors who are seeking to gain influence and access to Joe Biden and the United States.
Yeah, I think he meant to say too. Yeah, I think that was just a misspeak, Gas. I mean, I don't know. I think he meant to say sold out to them, but I don't know. There was something. Did I open it up? Okay, I wanted to see what this was. I see IRI's talking about it too.
We're also following some other developments, this time out of New York, where the Attorney General's office is now making moves suggesting that the state at this point may start to try to seize some of the former.
I don't know what the process is of seizing assets like real estate, because if they were to seize his real estate, one of the reasons that real estate is so lucrative, right, is because you do something with that real estate, right? It's not just like the fact that you have real estate. It's that there are going to be people there that like pay rent or something like that. Like you have businesses that go in there and rent out the space for offices and stuff. Like I'm sure Trump Tower has offices in it. I'm sure, you know, most of Trump's things have some other entities interested in the sale or in who is owning or have some stake in the matter. So I don't know what it means. Real estate is based off of current market value. I mean, yes, but why is the market value there, right? Is it just for like the building and the building materials and the plot of land? Well, that's part of the cost, but it's also what value it brings to the person who buys it, right? So if you bought like Trump Tower, you're also getting whatever, if you're renting, you have no say in the sale. If it was like an apartment complex, yes. But if it's like several multi-million-dollar like multinational corporations that have set up offices in there, I feel like there's got to be some kind of something there that is more complicated than us as laymen would think about, right? Or am I just like overthinking it? I just automatically assume like when things get scaled up, it's going to be out of my wheelhouse. So it's the same deal. Okay, maybe. I just assume like I understand that if you're in an apartment complex and the building changes management, you don't have a right to that building. And if they want to, no, actually, if they buy an apartment complex, you do still have tenants' rights. Oh, the buyer has to honor the lease, and that's it. I gotcha. Okay. You're right.
We're also following some other.
As you can tell, I've never purchased real estate before. I'm poor. All right. Listen.
Developments, this time out of New York, where the Attorney General's office is now making moves suggesting that the state at this point may start to try to seize some of the former president's assets if he fails to pay that.
But like what I'm saying is like I feel like some people's thought is that you're going like Letitia James is going to go in. That's the right district attorney, right? The New York Attorney General goes in with the fucking sheriff's office and like chains the doors and says, "Hey, sorry, government seizure." Yeah. Predicting the dim algorithm. All the dim mouthpieces need to start talking about Trump having Mar-a-Lago seized. That's all for today. Well, hold on. Mar-a-Lago's in Florida. Can Can they seize property that isn't in Florida? Or would Mar-a-Lago be off limits? Ugh. I think that if they took Mar-a-Lago or Trump Tower or both of those, bro, I think Trump would actually have a meltdown. Like if they seized Trump Tower, I think that he would lose his fucking mind. I think that he would actually just start calling for people to do violence. You know, I feel like he would have absolutely like total break from reality, do whatever I can to fight back, you know? Was James looking to take Mar-a-Lago?
Oh, Donald.
Link it to me.
You're broke and busted. A fraud, a con, a low-rent rip-off artist. We've always known it. So have you. Now America knows it. The courts are shutting down your crooked shell companies in New York. Bank fraud, insurance fraud. You know those are crimes, right, Donald? They're dissolving the whole Trump Organization scam right from under you.
Bro. If they seized his property and we saw similar images coming from Trump Tower during the election, dude, I don't know what it would do. I don't know what it would do, dude.
Right from under you. Bankruptcy won't save you this time. You'll have to sell off everything. You might even...
Hold on. Bankruptcy might save him for a little bit. All right. It won't stop them from seizing his assets, but it will delay them seizing his assets until he can find some other legal avenue. That's my understanding. But like, I also don't think that he wants to. I don't think that he wants to declare bankruptcy. If I'm completely honest, I don't think that anybody wants to declare bankruptcy.
Lose control of that dump Trump Tower. No one will lend you money, Donald. They won't even let you hand it over to Junior or Eric. Never mind Ivanka. She hates you. Everything you ever built was built on a lie. You were never rich, never successful. New York is laughing at you. Always has.
I mean, like, I understand loser Trump Lincoln Project, but like, Trump was rich. Trump is rich. He lives in Mar-a-Lago. He owns Trump Tower. Okay. It's not liquid assets, but he's wealthy. He's rich. Okay. Don't say he's not rich. He is rich.
She hates you. Everything you ever built was built on a lie. You were never rich, never successful. New York is laughing at you. Always has, always will. And now everyone knows it. Broke, busted, the loser in chief.
I thought the Lincoln Project like had a massive schism and it like all crumbled around them, dude.
We're also following some
Okay,
other
let's watch this
developments,
now.
this time out of New York, where the Attorney General's office is now making moves suggesting that the state at this point may start to try to seize some of the former president's assets if he fails to pay that nearly $500 million bond in his civil fraud case. So something that, as we know, right now, he cannot do. His lawyers have argued he'll be unable to satisfy that.
And there's that deadline looming only about 4 days away. CNN's Kara Scannell is on this. Kara, what are you learning that Letitia James is weighing here? What moves is she making toward this?
So earlier this month, just about a week after the judge finalized the $454 million judgment that Trump personally faces, the New York Attorney General's office filed this judgment in Westchester County. What that means is that it sets the stage or makes it possible for her to potentially move forward to try to seize assets in Westchester. That's where he has a golf course. Also, the family compound known as Seven Springs, an estate crossing over 3 different jurisdictions.
Oh shit, you know what I just realized? Seizing assets in Westchester. If like the Trump organization or the Trump corporation or whatever the fuck is based in New York and it's all owned under that, then yeah, I guess it would be they would be able to seize Mar-a-Lago, and they would be able to seize
try to seize assets
whatever
in
this
Westchester.
is.
That's where he has a golf course. Also, the family compound known as Seven Springs, an estate crossing over 3 different jurisdictions. But it doesn't necessarily mean that she's going to move to seize those specific assets if it comes to that. You know, the judgment is also in New York, where Trump has a lot of properties: Trump Tower, his penthouse apartment there, the hotel at the corner of Central Park, as well as the office building 40 Wall Street. So it's essentially making it possible to set the groundwork that if she does want to move forward to put liens on these properties or move to initiate foreclosure proceedings, that is in place. They are on notice. Now, I also checked some of the county clerk's offices in some of the other places where Trump has properties in Florida, in Chicago. I didn't see any judgments there as of now. So right now it looks like the stage is getting set to move in New York. But of course, there is still time, although that clock is ticking, as Trump is.
If I had to pick between Mar-a-Lago or Trump Tower, I would. Am I maximizing for trying to take assets to pay the bond, or am I maximizing to fuck with Trump? Because if I'm seethe maxing, I'm taking Trump Tower, baby. if I'm trying to seethe max, I'm taking Trump Tower 10 times out of 10. All right. I feel like if Trump Tower goes, like, I feel like Mar-a-Lago and Trump Tower are like his big I was about to say his big babies. I feel like those are his babies, right? But I feel like Trump Tower is the property for him. I feel like that is his personality summed up. It has a golden fucking escalator, golden floors and shit. His penthouse suite or condo or whatever the fuck, triplex. It's it's gold and marble and just gaudy, which is Trump's entire personality, just in like architecture form. Dude, take Trump Tower and turn it into like an immigrant encampment, or into like a pro-immigrant like lobbying firm headquarters. He gets to help choose what to forfeit. I think that he gets to help choose what to forfeit if he's cooperating, but he's not cooperating. He's trying to haggle. Turn it into the new attorney general and FBI office in New York. Dude, it would be so fucking funny. It would be so funny.
Waiting to see.
I mean, I know conservatives would lose their fucking minds too. Trump would lose his mind. But it honestly would be the funniest fucking meme, objectively, from any point of view, right? You know, we get like 10 years out of this, and we look back and it's like, damn, they took fucking Trump Tower, dude. That shit was fucking brutal. That shit was, they got him. They really fucking got him, dude.
See if the appeal.
The memes would be as gold as the toilet in Trump Tower. Yes.
This court is going to allow him to post a smaller amount or allow him to not post any money until the appeal's over. The New York Attorney General's office has opposed that, and Trump still does not have the money to satisfy that $500 million judgment. Boris, Erica?
And in terms of that, right? I mean,
wait, hold on. What is that emoji that you put praying hands and then a necklace? Am I insane? What is that? Is the font just too small? Hold on. Can I turn? Wait, hold on. I can't change the font size. Prayer beads? Oh, let's see.
Are there any other options
Let's
at this
hope.
point?
Let's
we know
pray.
we're talking about, of course, the 30 companies that refused to loan or underwrite that money. And the deadline, as Boris pointed out, is looming. As you're talking about, are there any other options left?
So Trump could potentially take out a mortgage on some of his properties. That's pretty complicated. A lot of the large financial institutions stopped doing business with Trump years ago. You know, also some properties, you know, there are questions about what their value is. That was the issue in this whole case, that the judge found that Trump inflated the value. So companies generally would want to do their own homework before deciding whether to issue a mortgage on a property. And also mortgage interest rates are high right now. That makes the cost of doing that pretty expensive. And we've seen Trump publicly state that, you know, this is an expensive expensive process for him. That is one option. There could be a donor that comes in last minute and offers to give Trump cash for this.
And see, like, here's the thing. Like, even if he gets all of the money to pay, like, he's not going to win the appeal. You know? Where are all the super rich Trump fans? Well, I can't remember where I saw this, but my understanding is Trump, his grassroots donations have tanked hard. Where one of the things that really propelled Trump to be able to do what he does, right, and just like shit talk everybody and, you know, fight and all that shit with the Republicans, even though he's with the Republican Party, is because he's not beholden to any of their donors. He's not beholden to the RNC funding, right? Because he always had a fuckload of small dollar donors that were just, you know, basically printing money for the campaign and printing money for his reelection campaign and all that. But this election cycle, if you just look at the polls, it looks like the Democrats are completely fucked on the national stage. But if you look at the individual states that actually matter, those look horrible for the Republicans. And the gap is closing with Biden and Trump in the states that actually matter for the Electoral College. On top of that, in states like Florida, you're seeing in states like Georgia, in states that don't have open primaries, you're seeing people still voting in increasing numbers for Nikki Haley. Like, I think that Nikki Haley got like 75,000 votes in the Florida whatever you call it, primary, and she dropped out 2 weeks ago. She got 15% of the vote almost. Biden has to be careful, though. Israel needs to be put on a leash or they will fuck it over for Biden. I don't even think that, dude. The best choices you have are two fucking old cunts. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. And this was part of whatever I either read or watched. I can't remember. There's like all these little signifiers, right? Like Republicans in the margins that Republicans don't want still protest voting Trump in the primaries. We still we see studies coming out of swing states where people are like, you know, 38% in favor of Biden, 37% in favor of Trump, right? So that's like a 1 point difference. And then there's, you know, whatever the remainder is in undecided. But when they don't give them the undecided option, those same voters overwhelmingly go to Biden and give him like a 52 to 48 margin of victory. And what it's starting to show is that people are ashamed to say that they support the Democrats, and especially ashamed to say that they're going to vote for Biden. But when push comes to shove, they choose Biden over Trump in all three of the studies that have been conducted thus far on this issue or on that question, you know? I don't understand, and maybe it's just because like I'm a Giga Chad and I don't care what other people think about my political opinions. I don't understand why people are so embarrassed to support Biden. He's not a like, why are people more embarrassed to support Biden than support Trump? Can someone please explain that to me? Like, Trump is actually embarrassing. He's begging for money because he can't get his small dollar donors to give him any money, right? He has a huge schism in the Republican Party that is growing as time goes on, right? When he was in office, he had one major piece of legislation that went through that was like through Congress, right? Everything else he had to do through executive orders. because he can't make a deal with anyone. He can't get his own party to support his own legislation. He's an embarrassing person. The only embarrassing thing about Joe Biden is that sometimes, well, I guess there's two things, but there's only one big thing. The one big thing that's embarrassing about Joe Biden is that sometimes he like fucks up his speaking and he's a little sleepy and he's old. All right. So like all those things together, that's a little embarrassing. The other like kind of embarrassing thing is he's said some like really retarded shit about guns. Okay. And he trips. Hey, so is Donald Trump. Everybody trips occasionally. All right. Especially old people. Guess what? Welcome to your fucking sunsetting years, brother. Welcome to the twilight years of your life. You're going to trip. But what else has Biden done that's embarrassing? On the world stage, where he's like actually has a strong stance, an actual strong stance against our like enemies on the world stage, where he actually is able to get legislation through, where he's able to get bipartisan legislation through. Can someone please, for the love of fucking God, explain to me why it's more embarrassing to support Joe Biden? I support Joe Biden. I'm proud. Okay. I'm not even like a paid DNC shill. All right. I'm not funded by Progressive Victory. I genuinely think that Biden is the best president of my lifetime. I would vote for Biden, but sadly, I feel every Republican down ticket. Hey, listen, you should look at your Senate. You should look at your Senate options. You should probably vote dim in the presidential and in the and in the Senate for your state. Okay. Biden's take on fixing the housing crisis in the State of the Union was embarrassing. Wait, hold on. Find me the timestamp. I thought that it was like mediocre. It wasn't like embarrassing would be saying like, I want to institute like a nationwide like rent control program or some shit like that. Embarrassing would be like trying to force like a certain level of rent relative to like the rent around you or some shit. I don't know. But didn't he just like give tax breaks to people who recently bought a house or people who are selling their starter houses, like giving them a tax break as well? Pay an extra tax if you keep properties empty for X amount of time. I don't know enough about the impact that would have to say, like, my gut reaction is like, good. That's my gut reaction. All right. But my gut reaction with rent control was also good. Poor people need to be able to afford rent. But then I learned more about rent control. But the cost of housing went up in line with the tax break. With which one? With under the extra tax on properties empty, or? Oh, that's what you would do? No more sitting on property? Gotcha. Yeah, find me a link on that, Sig. I don't remember him saying that. Oh, yeah, I won't be a dictator except for day one.
Circumstances, you are promising America tonight you would never abuse power.
Oh, hold on. It wasn't it wasn't a tax break for people buying their first starter home. It was a tax break for people selling their starter home. So that it would open up more housing for people to buy. Yeah. So I don't know what the effect on the market that will have necessarily, because I'm not a fucking economist, okay? But it's a little different than what you're saying.
As retribution against anybody.
Except for day one.
Except
Look,
what?
he's going crazy. Except for day one.
Meaning?
I want to close the border and I want to drill.
That's
drill,
not that's
drill.
that's not
No, no.
that's not retribution.
I'm gonna be, you know, he keeps, we love this guy. He says, you're not gonna be a dictator, are you? I said, no, other than day one. We're closing the border and we're drilling. After that, I'm not a dictator,
So
okay?
that sounds to me like you're going back to the politics.
Okay. He's just so fucking stupid. Trump, please. Oh, hold on. Let's finish the fucking video, for the love of God. Okay?
Remains to be seen if anyone credible is going to do that. And then, you know, he could potentially have a fire sale of one of his properties on his own. I mean, the clock there, again, is ticking. It seems that is unlikely. Surely Trumps are working behind the scenes as they're facing this deadline. But, you know, if not, we'll see what happens on Monday. Erica, Boris?
Kara Scannell, thank you so much. Let's bring Jennifer Rogers back in. So, Jennifer, let's say March 25th comes, this bond isn't paid. How quickly will we find out if Donald Trump is going to have property seized?
Well, it'll be still a bit of time, Boris. There's a whole legal process around seizing assets. First step, apparently, Tish James and her team has already started, which is to file the judgments in the relevant jurisdictions, but that's only the first step. And it's even more complicated when it comes to real property because, you know, it's not like Monday you're just going to see a team of sheriffs go up and put a padlock on a building or anything like that. There's paperwork
Hey, I
steps.
said that.
Trump may have the ability to challenge some of those steps before things are actually seized. And of course, seizure and then sale and then taking the assets. So it will be a while before anything really happens. But I think that we will hear something from the court between now and then because, you know, there's a lot of scrambling going on. So I expect we'll hear something from the court one way or the other, whether they send it back to Judge Engoron for some sort of fact finding about what's been done and possible solutions, or whether the court itself will speak. We'll find out.
We also, you know, as Kara pointed out, she went and looked. She looked at Miami, she looked at Palm Beach County, Cook County in Illinois. No judgments entered there. But when people think of the property that Donald Trump owns, the most well-known would be, of course, Mar-a-Lago and Trump Tower in New York. Do you see either one of those realistically being seized?
I mean, it's really hard to say. It just depends on how many assets there are that are in New York. New York assets are easier for the Attorney General to get to because they're here.
How much is Trump Tower worth? $300 million. Hey, with that one $300 million, allegedly. That one property, he could probably pay off a good amount of that bond, guys.
Can file more easily. So I think they would probably start there. And remember, it's not just real estate, even though Trump doesn't have enough in cash or cash-like assets like securities to cover the entire bill, he has some. So you would want to probably start with those liquid assets anyway. And then for the real estate that does exist, some of that value is already encumbered in other places as he's taken loans out based on the collateral of those real estate properties. So it's not as if you have the whole value of a Mar-a-Lago, for example, even if you knew what that value was, which of course is part of the whole reason that we're here in the first place, is that those values were exaggerated. So, you know, it depends, but we'll see what they do.
It is a complicated picture. I have one more procedural question for you, Jennifer. There was this debate between the Trump team and the AG. The Trump team saying, we looked at 30 different companies. Nobody could provide us this massive figure, $464 million. Letitia James argued back, essentially saying, well, maybe they can't give you all of that, but you can go to these companies and separately they can give you small chunks that then add up to that number. Is that a realistic argument from the AG? Could Trump pursue that?
Sure. And, you know, in fact, the one thing that Team Trump did say is, why don't you make it just a $100 million loan, a $1 million bond, and then that we can do. So then the question becomes, well, then why don't you just do 2 of those or 3 of those or 4 of those or however many you can get? There's one of the problems here, and I think the AG puts her finger on it in her responses. There was not much transparency around what the Trump team actually did and what negotiations there actually were with these 30 companies. So it very well may be that there is the opportunity to piece together smaller bonds to make up the whole amount. The issue is just making sure that the people can be whole at the end of this. If at the end of the long appeal, the large judgment is still upheld, then they need to be paid. So that's what the bond is for. But there's no reason they can't be a bit creative about how to make sure that money is there.
And one scenario, as you mentioned, we wind up seeing a fact-finding mission to figure out just how extensive the Trump team's research was in trying to get this bond. Jennifer Rogers, appreciate the time. Thanks so much.
Trump is fundraising, sending a text to supporters yesterday reading, "Keep your filthy hands off Trump Tower." So what he is doing, and I just want to be clear, he's not asking his supporters to pay his bond. He's asking his supporters to give money to his campaign, which also contributes to legal fees.
Exactly, and you can double dip in a sense because there's a limit for contributing to a political campaign. There's not the same limit for a legal defense fund.
And if I may, he's also, this is what he does, and
right.
Everybody in politics does this now. He's trying to rile up his potential donors to get angry to send money.
And one thing that is clear that we've seen really for now more than a year is whenever he is in legal trouble, it has helped him politically.
Yes.
So imagine the scenario. I heard one of our legal experts saying on our air this morning that the visual of Trump Tower being padlocked or something, and them seizing property. Imagine how that would help the former president politically. Imagine how those images.
I don't know if it would or if it wouldn't. I'm not actually sure. Okay, we get it. Now we're in the analysis. Homebuyers a $10,000 tax credit. Here's who would qualify. Okay, well, maybe he did say something that was stupid. Okay, so he said for both. $10,000 credit for first-time home buyers and a separate $10,000 tax credit for current homeowners who sell their starter home in order to jump into a bigger house. That could help melt go away, go away, in which homeowners who locked in low mortgage rates during the pandemic are hesitant to move away because they now face significantly higher mortgage rates. The problem is, at the federal level, there's not really... Drone banned you from the Discord today? Why? What did you say? Oh, I actually just scrolled up. I can see him talking to himself. Wait, hold on. Super curious. Yeah. I wanted to ask him about this because this is the dictionary.com definition and this is the Oxford Dictionary. Here, let's just look. It gave me the Merriam-Webster. Oh, maybe I look up definition and that fixes it. So he doesn't like the Oxford definition. I don't know what he thinks he's... Google removed the economic definition of bloodbath? The original... Okay, hold on. Let's go to dictionary.com. Does anybody need a fucking definition of bloodbath? Hold on. I'm apologies for people that are new here. I just want to read this. I don't want to like stream someone else's Discord on screen because that feels rude. But he's if some other random website does have it, that doesn't change the fact Google changed their front-facing definition. I don't see anything that says economic disaster. For context, everybody, just for context, the bloodbath conversation around Trump's statement about an economic bloodbath with the auto industry, et cetera, this drone tech guy put bloodbath definition into the Sunday, March 17th. Is that when he did the Trump bloodbath? When was this? Okay, no. Okay, hold on. I'm just... So this was the 18th. He's saying that he took the screenshot on the 17th. I assume this was written one day afterwards. Let's just look up Trump bloodbath. Let's see. Post on March 18th. So on March 16th, that's when he said it. Got it. And he's saying the next day he looked up the definition of bloodbath. Here, I'm about to get banned from his Discord too because I'm going to ask him a question. I'm going to respond to his picture. Yo, I heard there was a fight in here. I'm trying to look into this. But where are you seeing a definition that says a bloodbath is an economic disaster? I see the dictionary.com definition. Yeah, about the market refinance. Yeah, like a few mutual funds performed well in the general bloodbath of the stock market. Is that what you're talking about? But not seeing where you see anything specifically about economic disaster. Okay. All right, let's get banned from Drone Tech's Discord. Let's go. Google just quietly changes. Okay. Hold on. Merriam-Webster. Let's go to the Merriam-Webster definition. I'm curious. Is this... That's still there. By God. By Jove. It is there. Holy shit, what the fuck? Are you telling me there's not a top-down conspiracy to completely change our way of speaking and thinking? Hold on. 1 second. What is it? Sell-off seized assets and bankruptcy. Trump options narrow as bond deadline approaches. W for Republicans? Is it a W or is it an L that they're trying to sell more conspiracy theories? I want to know. You know what I want to know? Like, after reading that article yesterday about Russian influence and Chinese influence in social media, when I see pages like End Wokeness or like the like really big hardcore lefty accounts, I'm like, I wish that I could personally track where this shit was coming from. Sorry, I just heard something outside. Criminal alien storm border, trample U.S. military, break down wall, and open invasion chaos. I don't like... Okay, I know people like to watch me react to videos, right? But... Okay, you know what? Do those definition results come from Oxford site? I mean, it looks like this one's Oxford. Let's see more. Oh, no, hold on. Can we go to like the Oxford dictionary? It's Cambridge. Let's see if Oxford English dictionary. How's it going, Front Yard Shield? You missed the non-political part of the stream, buddy. Sorry. So if anything, Oxford changed it. But no, look at the screenshot. The first one is dictionary.com. And the second one is Oxford. Right? And they look like two completely different... Oh, wait, hold on. Brain blast. Bloodbath meaning. Definition. They all have this. They have the...
Bloodbath.
Why is it a child? What the fuck? I was not expecting that fucking voice. What the fuck, dude? That's weird as fuck, dude. Okay, what's that? Okay, wait, 1 second. Define bloodbath? I'm just trying to see because this one has this. I think this is doctored. How do you get this? How do you even get to a screen that looks like this? Why does it matter? I'm just super curious. I'm autistic and I have to look. I have to find out. One sec. All right, different web browser. Oh, that might be a good idea. I'm a little bit worried because I do all my schoolwork on my other. Here, hold on. 1 second. I do all my schoolwork on my other browsers. Yep, look, it just opened up straight to my schoolwork. Okay, let me see here. Bloodbath definition. Nope, it comes up with the same thing on Brave browser. And if we go to, let's try Firefox. Bloodbath definition. Wait, hold on. Not Bing, Google. Bloodbath definition. Nope, they are all exactly the same. They all give the option to have it spoken out loud. There we go. So I don't know where this top one is coming from. And see, this one has translation on the side. Webster still has the definition. Interesting piece about bloodbath. Trumpian word straight out of Larry Flint's playbook. I don't know who Larry Flint is. Over what their idol actually meant. Context is the argument this time, something which Donald Trump has spent his life disconnected from. To help reconnect his action to a coherent perspective, I would like to make a comparison to help the MAGA cult see their way through it. Larry Flint is a pioneer, I guess, in the world of pornography during the 1970s and 1980s. Okay. It's a provocative word. Okay, well... Holy shit, is that Trump's ass? Bro, it's wide, okay? He got dumpster on him. Okay. Wait, is this replay? Did you just wait, replay. Is this you that just DM'd me? Big ass is only hot for me on a woman? Okay, gotcha. I just want to make sure. So, if you do define bloodbath, you do get a different... Here, what's that? I want to post this in... Okay, interesting. I want to see what this person, because I don't think that Trump literally meant that he was going to do. I don't think that he was saying that he is advocating for violence, but all these libs are saying that. It shows that's how you ask Google. Let's see what they say about that. Hey, Dink Brandon, listen, Maybe we'll get you unbanned from Drone Tech's Discord because of this, okay? I'm fighting for you, all right, brother? Me and you, brothers in arms. Okay. Republican showing Ohio Republicans that neither he nor they know how tariffs work. Trump proposed a 100% tariff on Chinese auto imports. The crowd cheered. I never thought I would see a gathering of Republicans delight in approval of historic enormous tax increase on themselves. Now I have. But also, we don't do Chinese auto imports. What was the apolitical part of the stream? I was playing guitar for like 30 minutes. One second. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for our country. The boisterous adoration of the former president continued. Several national blah, 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 blah. Choice of words meaning arguing over what he meant. Historic First Amendment fight. In 1983, Hustler published a parody ad for Campari in which infamous Christian right-winger Jerry Falwell recounted a sexual encounter he had with his mother. The ad brought publicity and ad revenue, but it became a more important battle for the constitutional freedom of speech and press. It was a provocative speech. Many Americans also thought it was dangerous. No matter the context, I can't think of what the societal value of the Falwell ad was in 1983 or the value of Trump's bloodbath speech on Saturday. The personal value of the offensive commentary is identical. Provocativeness. I mean, yeah, congratulations. Congratulations. You've stumbled onto Trump's secret tactics. He's trying to be provocative? What? Oh, this changes everything, dude. This changes everything. Yeah, no, I agree, Front Yard Shield. Like I've said from the beginning, since I heard that while I was on vacation, when someone pointed it out to me, I was like, no, it doesn't seem like he's advocating for violence. Okay, it seems like everything's chill. Okay, I think I'm good on the. There's not anything interesting more to learn about this. Sup, you beautiful bastard. Hold on. I want to see the Josh Peck and Drake Bell thing. You're watching the Philip DeFranco show. It is a beautiful. If you guys don't know, I guess like someone put out a documentary about Nickelodeon and all of like the weird sexual shit that the producer did. Yeah. We all use bloodbath colloquially, just like we say slaughter, just like we mean, it's a battle. We've got to fight. Yeah, we all understand. There's different connotations and different usages of words. But yeah, I guess like the Nickelodeon like head producer or whatever, he like constantly had the girls showing their feet and doing weird shit with their feet and doing sexual shit that was like fetish shit, but it was through the guise of children media. What was acceptable to do to women back in the day? These are children, Front Yard Shield. These are children. If they were adults, I don't think that... I mean, no, actually, we do know what would happen. Like, look at, Inglourious Bastards, Pulp Fiction. What is the director's name? I always forget his name. I know what he looks like. What the fuck is his name? Quentin Tarantino, thank you. Quentin Tarantino has a foot fetish. He inserts himself and does cameos in a lot of his movies where women put their feet on him or do sexual shit with their feet. I think like Salma Hayek or someone like that, like pour tequila down her, like from her gooch all the way down her leg, her toes into his mouth in one of his movies, right? I don't know what movie, but I've never seen it. I've heard about this. Right? But he has a foot fetish and everyone laughs about it and they move on. But it's not acceptable at any point to have children doing fetish shit on your TV show. There's never been a point in time where you had children doing like weird fetish videos on side channels, you know? Dusk to Dawn, I would guess. Yeah, I have no idea. I've never even heard of that movie. I've seen one Quentin Tarantino movie, I think. No, I've seen two. I think I saw Inglorious Bastards, but I was not paying attention to it, I don't think. And I think I've also seen, oh, wait, hold on. Got to answer the phone. Hello? Ooh, boy. I'm about to get spoiled, y'all. I'm about to get spoiled. My girlfriend is buying me a Lime-A-Rita from the gas station on her way home. I'm about to get fucked up. Okay. It's kind of misandrous to judge somebody in a sexual encounter when they were raised in a cultural context where certain things aren't boundaries that we now recognize as boundaries. Front Yard Shield, I don't know how old you are. And I don't mean this as like an insult, but if you're like below the age of like 20, right? It is very strange to see 13 to 17-year-olds being put into weird fetish situations on a children's TV show. Assuming that's what it was. Now, I haven't looked into all this shit like super hard or anything, but like I'm pretty sure that there's been a lot of allegations and it's not looking good for him, right? It's not an influence of upbringing. If it was an influence of, or if it was just like the influence of upbringing.
Earlier today we talked.
Stop. What video? Where were we? Okay. if it was just about upbringing, then I feel like we would expect to see, I don't know, a lot more children's shows with, children doing these sorts of things, but it seems to only be on Nickelodeon, right? I don't think he's that old, and I don't think that there was ever a time when it was okay to put children. Okay, you're just wrong on this. I'm not going to argue with you on this. I'm not going to argue with you on this. You are literally just fucking wrong. I can't even find shit on Bloodbath being changed. Yeah, because I think it's just a right-wing conspiracy, because they're trying to say that the corpos are controlling us.
Beautiful, actually. 1 second. Set documentary, which we talked about a few days ago. The doc explores the horrific things that allegedly went down behind the scenes at Nickelodeon. Are we talking about sexism, racism, child actors being put into inappropriate situations, making inappropriate jokes, and in the worst instances, working with child predators? With Drake Bell there notably coming forward as a survivor and saying that he was the victim of a dialogue coach who was previously convicted of sexual assault. So understandably, that's been one of the most talked about aspects. But also with that, Josh Peck has gotten some backlash for not publicly addressing it. People saying that he should 100% speak out since he was Drake's co-star on Drake and Josh. Right? So there was no shortage.
Bro, I feel bad for Josh Peck, okay? Because everyone wants Drake Bell and Josh Peck to be best friends, but Josh Peck had a career after Nickelodeon and Drake Bell didn't. They grew apart and they are no longer like close buddies. And everyone's like trying to like force a friendship where there is not one. This is stop. This is parasocial behavior right here, guys.
Silence. You also had others looking at his latest TikTok because it was posted after the documentary aired. Many think Josh was insulting Drake, which in that, notably, he didn't actually address him in the video at all. Instead, it was just him doing a lip dub video to an audio that said,
"If I haven't talked to you since 2023, take that as a sign that you don't exist to me anymore. Damn, you bug. You got sprayed with the raid. Bye. See you in that bar."
So you had many saying that it's intentional, that he was trying to send some message. Other people say, no, this is probably just scheduled, as horrible timing. But also very notably, as people had their pitchforks out, they were storming the castle. Drake actually came out to defend Josh.
I just want to let you guys know that this is really, processing this and going through this is a really emotional time. And a lot of it's very, very difficult. So not everything is...
Yeah, you take that into account, but he's touching, I assume, women of age, which is unacceptable, but you can like try and take into account that. Yes, I 100% agree with that. It's different for children. There is never a time when it was acceptable to fuck children.
Put out.
I'm front yard shield. Do not say anything more on this because I'm not going to argue with you on it. I will time you out. I will time you out because this is fucking ridiculous. You're just wrong.
To the public, but I just want you guys to know that he has reached out to me, and it's been very sensitive, but he has reached out to talk with me and help me work through this, and has been really, really great. So I just wanted to let you guys know that and to take it a little easy on him.
Josh then addressing the situation himself on Instagram this
he's
afternoon,
probably
writing that he
out.
watched Quiet on Set, but it took him a few days to process.
I finished the Quiet on Set documentary. Fuck, I might watch that tonight. Maybe if my girlfriend's down for it. I reached out to Drake privately, but want to give my support for the survivors who were brave enough to share their stories of emotional and physical abuse on Nickelodeon sets on the sets with the world. Children should be protected. Reliving this publicly is incredibly difficult, but I hope it can bring healing for the victims and their families as well as necessary change for the industry.
Adding that he reached out to Drake and gives his support for the survivors who were brave enough to share their stories. Also acknowledging that this is hard to relive publicly, but he hopes that it will bring healing and change. But also with that, that's not where the debate on who should be publicly speaking out ends. Because if you look online, there's also a ton of people saying Amanda Bynes needs to speak out. And not just on random corners of the internet, like on her actual Instagram profile. Because as you see in the documentary, a lot of it's focused on her career and the role that Dan Schneider played in that. So there, it is very much worth noting that...
Wait, who is this?
brave enough to share their stories. Also acknowledging that this is hard to relive publicly, but he hopes that it will bring healing and change. But also with that, that's not where the debate on who should be publicly speaking out ends. Because if you look online, there's also a ton of people saying Amanda Bynes needs to speak out. And not just on random corners.
Damn, Amanda Bynes looks different, bro. The Amanda show was so long ago. I know people change over time. That does not look like the same human being.
Of the internet, like on her actual Instagram profile. Because as you see in the documentary, a lot of it's focused on her career and the role that Dan Schneider played in that. So there, it is very much worth noting that we don't really know many details of anything that did or did not happen there. Though there is no shortage of people filling in the blank. And so that's also part of the reason why we saw so many people out speaking in support of Amanda. People saying things like there's a reason why she's not commenting on it. Perhaps not everyone wants to be forced to talk about the most traumatic experiences of their lives. As well as a reminder that Amanda Bynes doesn't owe anyone an explanation. Stop harassing her to speak up on her traumatizing childhood. She deserves to live a peaceful adulthood. Also, while we're seeing that playing out, there are other debates happening online about footage that was included in the documentary, because the documentary actually included tons of clips from the Nickelodeon shows and web series where actors were doing jokes that sexualized them. Which is why you had places like IndieWire asking that if in doing this, the documentary just recirculated the exploitative material it was meant to stop, saying that it inadvertently raises an important ethical conundrum. In the name of exposing and confronting objectionable material, is it acceptable to air it again, even in documentary? Very notably, there you have Alexa Nicholas, who was actually on Zoe 101 and has since become an activist against child predators in entertainment, speaking to the outlet, saying it's a complicated question. I don't like that footage, and I don't think it should exist.
Who is she in Zoe 101? I don't remember any of these fucking actors, dude.
One and has since become an activist against child predators in
I used to watch all these shows back when I was a kid. Me and my girlfriend talked about it a little bit, and it Sieg. Bloodbath. What happens to my brain cells when perpetual victims need to validate their depressingly sad worldviews? We obviously changed the definition of a word being used in a colloquial, figurative way. Jesus, why would they do this? Why would they do this? Bro! Okay.
Speaking to the outlet, saying it's a complicated question. I don't like that footage, and I don't think it should exist.
I don't remember any of these shows. I don't know what they play over in Australia. When I was watching, I was going to say, like, me and my girlfriend were talking about this. Like, when I was watching these shows when I was a kid, okay? Oh, wait, look at the pronunciation. Retard. When I was talking to my girlfriend about this, like, she said that she never found those things. She always found the weird, like, feet jokes in kids shows like weird. I don't think that I ever found them like particularly funny, because on one hand you can look at these things, right? You can look at these things and you can say, okay, well, these things are made for kids shows, and like after having like years of experience in the real world, and that people have like weird fetishes and stuff, it becomes more weird to look at these things because some people might get off to it. But maybe it actually is just like super innocent. I haven't seen the documentary. It seems like it's pretty fucking bad, Were the girls with their feet under 16? Yes, absolutely. Like they look like children, okay? I mean, it was fucking, what's her name? Ariana Grande, right? Back in like 2011 or 2010, like she was a child, all right? But what was I? Oh yeah. But like, I feel like there are two different ways that you could look at this, right? When it comes to like the stuff that happened on set, like, or on the show, the stuff that got aired. I don't know what happened behind the scenes or what happened on the set that got cut from the shows. But there are like two different ways that you can look at the things that happened on the show. However, given the context of everything else, plus the stuff that was aired on the show, I think it's really hard to say that it wasn't unacceptable.
this. It never should have been created. But then adding, at the same time, I think when you do show the material that Dan made, it does hit a little bit differently. And I feel like the documentary creators knew that the combination of the testimony and the actual footage itself would be most powerful back to back. But an important thing that she also added is that if someone from those clips said, hey, please stop recirculating these, we should respect their wishes. And personally, I find myself agreeing with Alexa, but also understanding that it's kind of a morally messy question, because I see why those clips are included. You hear about the story, you're like, that sounds pretty fucked up. You watch the videos, you go, oh, this is undeniable. Or the footage was already public. I mean, it was on national television, and now what we're seeing is all the context and all the behind the scenes stuff that's associated with it. And I also agree with Alexa that if any of the victims here don't want this footage out there, then yeah, let's pull it. And while that ends up kind of being clean, there is still like the morally, here's a hypothetical. If we found out that Ariana Grande was very uncomfortable,
There was a joke where someone would give people pickles and people would moan and be really enjoying the pickles, and the pickle guy was a creep. That happened. Okay, that's Mad TV. We're talking about Nickelodeon, all right? Shit that you're supposed to watch as a child with child actors, you know?
not like that these clips of her were clean, there is still like the morally, here's a hypothetical. If we found out that Ariana Grande was very uncomfortable, did not like that these clips of her were resurfaced, even if it was to help expose a Dan Schneider, do you or do you not have an issue with it being included in the documentary? And I'd really love to know your thoughts and feelings and opinions on that. And then Planet Fitness has found itself in a bit of a controversy, with it all starting from this one woman's complaint on Facebook.
I just came out of Planet Fitness, and there is a man shaving in a women's bathroom. I realize...
Uh-oh, I'm about to get canceled, guys.
He wants to be a woman. He gets to be a woman. I love him in Christ, but I'm not comfortable with him shaving in my bathroom. I took a picture of him, and I asked him, why are you there? And
what did she say at the beginning here?
Controversy, with it all starting from this one woman's complaint.
I haven't seen the video. I've only seen the screenshot of the person.
On Facebook.
I just came out of Planet Fitness, and there is a man shaving in a women's bathroom. I realize he wants to be a woman. He gets to be a woman. I love him in Christ, but I'm not comfortable.
Oh, okay, then yeah, no, I'm going to get Giga canceled because I don't think this woman did anything fucking wrong.
With him shaving in my bathroom. I took a picture of him and I asked him, why are you there? And he justified by saying, I'm queer LGBT. Well, I left.
So apparently the person that she's talking about is a trans woman. There are photos of this person online. I won't be showing them in this video because they were taken in the privacy of a locker room, but they are...
No, someone get me a picture. Someone get me the picture. Hold on, I'll find it. Planet Fitness... Planet Fitness, trans. Don't take photos in a bathroom, you freaks. Okay, hold on. Open image in new tab. Damn it, it's tiny as fuck. Open image in new tab. Okay, that one's bigger. Okay, this is going to be my fucking cancellation moment, okay? I'm sorry. I think that trans women should be allowed to go into women's locker rooms. I do think that 100%. But also, I don't understand the, let me pick my words very carefully here, okay? As a very staunchly pro-trans advocate, okay? I'll make it very clear I support trans issues. However, bro, there is something to be said about passing when it comes to public appearances of trans people, right? If you're going to go into a women's bathroom, if you're trying to look like a woman and everyone can tell that you're trying to, that you're acting as a woman, then it's probably fine, right? I don't think that anyone's going to have a problem. I personally believe the modern queer movement involves narcissism. I don't think that narcissism is the word I would use. I'm trying to think of like exactly how I want to say it. There's a push that anything goes, nothing means anything, gender isn't real, but it's also the most important thing in these people's lives. You don't have to pass. You don't have to make an attempt to pass. You can be a trans man and like walk around in a thong and a bikini and with your titties out and just like look like a girl and be totally okay with it should, like, people shouldn't misgender you, right? People should just know, or people should ask. But I don't think that the majority of trans people want people to constantly be asking them what their gender is, because, hey guys, let me tell you something. The only people who get asked like, oh, what are your pronouns, are people that are clockable. Okay, people that you can tell are trans. All right, those are the only people. Those are the only people that get asked, what are your pronouns? And that probably makes the trans person in question feel like shit, right? If you're going to go into a women's bathroom as a trans woman, probably don't dress and look like a man and shave your face. Get Demon Mama and or Vivian Wolf on? Yeah. No. No, absolutely not. I wish that I wish I had like a concrete, like, laid out way to explain this, but people look at another person, right, with their eyes, and they take in all of that sense data, and they put all of the images into categories, right? And I think that generally, like, when I look at like a trans woman, if I'm introduced to a trans woman, even if she doesn't really pass all that well, I can see her as a woman, right? I almost said something that was really, really going to be really bad. Fuck, I'm trying to be like so careful. Should I even have to be careful? I'm on YouTube and Kick. Am I even in danger of getting banned here? Okay, let's start over. If you're going to go into a women's bathroom as a trans woman, you got to like make an attempt to pass, and you can't do a shitload of things that are going to make everybody like look at you as a man. Because it's going to make them uncomfortable. There's a reason why people have always said that there's a power like imbalance between men and women, because men have more physical strength than women, right? Like when a woman walks into a bathroom and they see a man in there, they're thinking, what are you doing in here, and what are you going to do to me, right? Because it is a space for women to go to the bathroom and not be around men. Now, say what you will about like gender neutral or all gender bathrooms where it's just stalls and doors, right? That's like something that we can talk about, but in like the communal areas here where there's like people getting undressed and showering and shit, I think that it's a lot more acceptable to say, hey, you got to be showing like an actual effort, that like looking at you, we can tell that you are trying to act as a woman, and you are not walking around looking like a dude. All right. I think that's like totally acceptable. Right. Made a pledge earlier this year not to give a fuck and just speak your mind. Just do it. Let it flow. This is me letting it flow. Comparing RuPaul in the video. Isn't RuPaul black? I'm not going to get into an argument about transition and whether that's okay or not, because I think that people who I think that people should be allowed to transition if they so choose. All right. RuPaul was at this Planet Fitness next to this person right here. RuPaul is a man. RuPaul isn't a trans woman. RuPaul is a drag queen, a man that dresses as a woman, but still is a man. Those are different things. I don't think that RuPaul is in this video. My point is just leave them be. You do what you do, you may, and let them do them. There's two parts of this that, because like in reality, like if I walked into the bathroom and I saw a chick in there, I would be like, oh, this is the men's bathroom, but okay. Right? If I was a woman and I saw a man in the women's bathroom, I mean, depending on the setting and the circumstances, I'd probably be like, okay. And I'd probably just move on. I don't really care what people want to identify as. I don't really care if someone wants to be vampire gender, if someone wants to be fucking, deer gender or omni gender or whatever the fuck, if they want to be trans or whatever. I don't actually give a single fuck whatsoever. What I care about is the people that have stakes in this, right? Like, trans people who are transitioning, right? Male to female, female to male, right? They get fucked over by shit like this. The optics of it, right? So that's one prong of this. That I think it's just wholly unacceptable. If you care at all about trans people, you shouldn't fucking do this shit, all right? On the other hand, like going into places, you have certain expectations on what's going to happen when you walk into that place, right? So like if I walk into a bar, I have certain expectations, right? I expect to see drunk people. I have an expectation that like there could be some like fucked up person trying to do fucked up shit to me, right? I've had people try to do fucked up shit to me in bars, right? I'm a guy and I have long hair, right? I'm like pretty. I'm pretty. I don't know what it is about me other than that makes people feel like they can do this, but people will just like walk up and like grab my ass, or people will walk up and like start braiding my hair from behind while I'm waiting for a drink at the bar, Like I have certain expectations when I'm at home, when I'm going to a restaurant, when I'm going to a bar, and all of those expectations on how other people are going to act, how I should act, are all going to be different, right? If people expect to go into a locker room and not see a man in the locker room while they're getting undressed, I think that's totally fucking acceptable for them to be a little bit miffed that there is a trans woman who is not making any attempts to pass, that is actively shaving their facial hair in the women's bathroom, where 10 feet away someone could be getting like completely undressed and changing their clothes, right? Front Yard Shield, you're just like having the wrong fucking conversation right now. We're not even talking about that. And I'm not going to fucking go through your study right now because I need to end stream here in a minute. But it's fucking crazy to me. It's fucking crazy to me that this is what dominates, because I guarantee you 1 billion % that there are tons of trans women who go into Planet Fitness that use the women's fucking locker room and nobody gives a fuck. Why? Because they either A, can't tell that they're trans, or B, it's pretty obvious that they're trying to pass and they're not bothering anybody else. But when there's someone that looks like a fucking like stockbroker shaving their face like a fucking like CFO of a company, man, shaving his face in the women's locker room, I don't fault the woman for feeling miffed at the very least about that. And even like the video, which I've seen for the first time now, because I've only ever seen that one screen cap of the video. Like, listen to what she says.
And opinions on that.
And there is a man shaving in a women's bathroom. I realize he wants to be a woman. He gets to be a woman. I love him in Christ, but I'm not comfortable with him shaving in my bathroom. I took a picture of him and I asked him, why are you there? And he justified.
She said, I love you in Christ.
There is a man shaving in a
Right?
woman's bathroom. I realize he wants to be a woman. He gets to be a woman. I love him in Christ, but I'm
He
not
gets to be a woman. So it's not like she's being hateful or anything. But the social expectations for the place that you're in, you got to be conscious of that. Okay, let's watch the rest of it, and then we probably got to end stream.
not comfortable with him shaving in my bathroom. I took a picture of him and I asked him, why are you there? And he justified by saying, I'm queer LGBT. Well, I left.
So apparently the person that she's talking about is a trans woman. There are photos of this person online. I won't be showing them in this video.
Now, tell me, is what I said right there at all controversial? Well, yeah, it is controversial. But is what I'm saying there like shitty or mean to trans people in you guys' eyes? Because I have to check myself sometimes, because sometimes I feel like maybe I'm being a little bit too dismissive of conservative leaning people's ideas or people who aren't. I feel pretty. Hey, I'm glad. I just have to like check myself and make sure that I'm not falling too deep into like bias on one side or the other, and just like speak what I think is true, rather than accidentally just regurgitating something that I heard someone else say. Did you read my comment? Oh, fuck. I kind of ignored chat because the Front Yard Shield guy is going ham. I can't wait till we go to the bar together. Bro, you're gonna see some people doing some crazy shit. I think it's just better to include things like individual changing rooms or seal the cracks in the toilets. Well, I think that they should seal the cracks in the fucking stalls yesterday, okay? In every bathroom. Basic changes we can do to fix this shit. How with those basic changes we could just go unisex, because who cares about who they're washing hands next to? Yeah, there have been a couple of times in the past year where I've gone to a place where it was like a completely like gender neutral bathroom. And the way it was set up was just like you walk into the bathroom and the only thing that's like a shared communal area is the sink. And then all of the toilets are just a bunch of separate rooms, like actual rooms, you know? Your bathroom doors don't go to the floor? No, not in the United States. They don't go to the floor or the roof. They're about like shin high, and then usually they're about tall enough to cover me, and I'm 6'1". A solution should be that they make disabled bathrooms disabled genderless, not because they are disabled. Wait. I don't understand what you're saying there. But yeah, like nobody cares who they're washing their hands next to, but like you probably don't want to be, at least with like the expectations that we have here in the United States, you don't want to have someone of the opposite gender able to see you pissing or shitting, or have access to you in a vulnerable position like that, especially for women, right? Anyways.
Video because they were taken in the privacy of a locker room, but they are out there. And as far as this woman who's making these videos, that's Patricia Silva. She's a member of a gym in Alaska. And her post actually got enough traction that it resulted in a response from Planet Fitness. But it didn't go really, really viral until what happened next. Because for some context, the gym's policy lets people use bathrooms that align with their, quote, sincere, self-reported gender identity. The company adding that if it is confirmed that a member is acting in bad faith and improperly asserts a gender identity, they may be asked to leave and their membership may be terminated. So in this case, the trans woman ended up keeping her membership because they said she did nothing wrong.
I'm sorry, I was reading chat.
As far as this woman who's making these videos, that's Patricia Silva. She's a member of a gym in Alaska. And her post actually got enough traction that it resulted in a response from Planet Fitness. But it didn't go really, really viral until what happened next. Because for some context, the gym's policy lets people use bathrooms bathrooms that align with their, quote, sincere self-reported gender identity. The company adding that if it is confirmed that a member is acting in bad faith and improperly asserts a gender identity, they may be asked to leave and their membership may be terminated. So in this case, the trans woman ended up keeping her membership because they said she did nothing wrong. Silva, on the other hand, they said did actually break a rule because according to Planet Fitness, you're not allowed to photograph or record other people in the bathroom. Planet Fitness ended up revoking Patricia's membership. And as soon as that news broke out, it spread like wildfire through the right-wing media sphere. The likes of libs of TikTok and Elon Musk sharing it to their millions of followers, prompting calls for a boycott, then more mainstream outlets like the New York Post writing up articles about it, referring to the trans woman as a man in their headlines. With all this happening, we saw Planet Fitness's stock price dropping. As of recording right now, we're seeing it bounce back. And as of right now, Planet Fitness has just held its ground, continuing to defend its policy against critics. But for now, that's where we are. And we'll have to wait to see what happens from here, right? Is this kind of a momentary thing, or is Planet Fitness about to get the full Bud Light treatment? And then there's yet another reason to not send people unsolicited nudes, something that 39-year-old Nicholas Hawks over in the UK just learned.
Don't send dick pics to anyone. All right, let me see here. Anything else interesting? Oh, and this is something I wanted to hear about, but news of it broke right when I was thinking about going live for stream, so one sec. Now she knows the rules, fuck her. She signed up saying she won't film people in the bathroom. Now, yeah, I agree. I could be pushed pretty easily on that. Yeah. But at the same time, I also think that the person shaving their face, they should be making an attempt. That's all I'm saying. Because it leads to backlash like this. The backlash, the problem that I have isn't that it's, a trans person in a women's bathroom. Ugh, no, that's not the problem that I have. The problem that I have is you're actively creating a situation for no reason that it's not like you're putting yourself in a position and then like you get like fucked over because someone's being shitty. And you use that to like a sit-in or like the Martin Luther King Jr. style where you protest and then you like basically dare the cops to beat you, and if they decide to start brutalizing you, everybody gets to see you being peaceful and the cops brutalize you and it moves your movement forward, right? This is just like someone being dumb and fucking entitled, not thinking of the repercussions of their actions, I don't care if a trans person goes into the bathroom that aligns with their gender. I do care if they make like zero attempts to pass in public and then they like start a moral outrage because of something that is to like 99% of people going to look really fucking sketch. And then it has blowback on the rest of the trans community, right? That's where my fucking problem is.
Job. I just think it's common sense. And then there's some big allegations getting thrown Apple's way right now. And I have to say, as an Apple shareholder, my baby did nothing.
My grandma used to shave. I'm not going to say anything. I might not make any shorts of this. Yeah, I mean, like the problem is that it's so hard to have a stance on trans people that doesn't align 100% with the like Twitter people, because you'll just get fucked. Like I've found that out multiple times, right? I have very strong opinions on LGBT issues, and all of them are in favor of LGBT people. However, there are smart ways to do things and there are not smart ways to do things. And if you don't recognize that, then you don't get to complain about the backlash. If you're going to do some stupid shit, or if you're going to use bad tactics for your cause, or if you're going to do X, Y, and Z, and it ends up blowing back on the whole trans community, those activists don't get to cry about it. The people that get to cry about it are the totality of trans people who are not a part of that activity or not a part of that, protest or that line of thinking or in favor of those tactics, and they still get fucked over it because of the shitty people. That's my problem, Okay, this better be super quick because again, I do need to end stream here in a minute.
But that's what I've been saying for years. This guy.
Oh, okay. I don't care. Sorry.
job. I just think it's common sense. And then there's some big allegations getting thrown Apple's way right now. And I have to say, as an Apple shareholder, my baby did nothing wrong. I don't even need to look at the facts. My baby boy Tim Apple is a good boy, and I don't appreciate you lying on his name. Dare you make my Apple position drop 3.6%. But I will say, joking aside, this is pretty big news, because you have the U.S. Justice Department, 15 states in the District of Columbia, saying in a lawsuit that they filed this morning that Apple has been illegally maintaining a monopoly in the smartphone market. A move that some have called the federal government's most significant challenge to the reach and influence of Apple. And this possibly landmark case comes after years of allegations that Apple is engaged in anti-competitive behavior. Or rather, you should just hear it from the horse's mouth. This is how it...
Hold on.
Of Apple. This possibly landmark...
Blocking innovative new apps and degrading how Android messages appear on iPhones to maintain a monopoly on the smartphone market. Yeah, I think that's pretty shit. I feel like if you're going to go after Apple, well, no, actually, Apple has a monopoly, which means that you've like cornered a singular market. The problem with like trying to do antitrust actions on Google or on Amazon or on any of these like big tech firms is that they spread out, right? So they have streaming services, and then they have their online stores, and then they have their search engines, and then they have a wide range of things, which isn't a monopoly. That's just having a big company that does a whole bunch of things, right? But there's still lots of online marketplaces. There's still lots of streaming services. There's still lots of XYZ search engines, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But there basically is just Apple and Android for smartphones. And Apple is absolutely the biggest one between those two, because Android people get kind of locked out of conversations with people on Apple phones, like the fucking texts versus iMessages and shit, you know? Wait. Hold on. We're going to finish this segment, and then I want to watch that. And then our ending stream.
Case comes after years of allegations that Apple is engaged in anti-competitive behavior. Or rather, you should just hear it from the horse's mouth. This is how Attorney General Merrick Garland explained it.
For consumers, that has meant fewer choices, higher prices and fees, lower quality smartphones, apps, and accessories, and less innovation from Apple and its competitors. For developers, that has meant being forced to play by rules that insulate Apple from competition.
Right, and before we unpack more of what Garland said, I think it's important to say that this isn't happening like in a vacuum. It's part of a broader trend of regulators that are trying to put a check on these big
Gatekeepers of Commerce and Communications. In 2019, under President Donald J. Trump, the agencies opened antitrust inquiries into Google, Meta, Amazon, and Apple. Apple is probably the only one, like, they need to pass new antitrust laws, but I don't know how you could, how you could craft those bills that wouldn't disincentivize the business itself, right? Because again, like a monopoly, you have top-down organization where you have, like, let's say, manufacturing of all of the things. Fill. Color 2, red. Thank you. So let's say they have the manufacturing cornered, and then they have the let's say the distribution cornered, and then they have the green, and then let's say that they have the sales on these items cornered. So you have a top down, this is a monopoly, right? So like the Bell phone company that got busted for antitrust shit. They were basically the only phone company in the United States. They had access to all of the infrastructure. They had access to all of the phone plans. Nobody else could really like access any of those things, right? You gonna make some art and paint? If you can call this art, then yes, I'm making some art. So that's what a monopoly is. But what we see with like Amazon, right? What we see with Amazon is we have this square is, this square is how much they have of, robotics. And then they also have this chunk of their business that is their online marketplace. And then, God, I hate paint. And then they have this chunk that is their streaming service, right? And then they have, you know, they have that chunk that's their streaming service. And then up here they have this chunk that is, I don't know, their, what else does Amazon do? Their delivery service or something like that, right? But because all of these things are separate industries or different markets that they're cornering, there's still competition in all of these different markets. So you can't really go after them with antitrust in the same way that you could go after this monopoly right here. It just, I don't know how you can legislate against this, right? Say like you can only go into 3 different markets, or you can only go into, you know, you can only grow your business to be like this large and then it has to be broken up. Like, how do you legislate around that? How's it going, Abby? They aren't monopolies, they're monoliths. I mean, yeah, kind of, but it's a monolith that we don't have a good answer to. Kind of like how like Citizens United is the best answer to a problem that has no good answers. Citizens United is not a good Supreme Court judgment necessarily, but it is the best of the worst answers that we could come up with. Anyways.
Developers. That has meant being forced to play by rules that insulate Apple from competition.
Right, and before we unpack more of what Garland said, I think it's important to say that this isn't happening like in a vacuum. You know, it's part of a broader trend of regulators that are trying to put a check on these big tech companies that have so much influence in our lives. So we've seen federal agencies opening antitrust inquiries into Google, Meta, Amazon, and Apple.
Like Meta, I think that you could possibly hit them on Instagram and Facebook because they started like incorporating shit from TikTok and Snapchat and, you know, a million other things to corner that market. You could say that, but
way back in 2019, with Apple now being the last of these big tech companies to face a federal
we're
lawsuit.
talking about breaking up the banks. Hey, okay.
But there are also specific things about this specific case that make it a big deal. This case focuses on Apple's entire ecosystem of products and services, rather than just the App Store, which was the case with past lawsuits brought against Apple in Europe and in the US by Fortnite developer Epic Games. Well, we're not going to hit every point of this lawsuit because it's almost 100 pages. Garland summed up their main arguments pretty well this morning.
Apple carries out its exclusionary anti-competitive conduct in 2 principal ways. First, Apple imposes contractual restrictions and fees that limit the features and functionality that developers can offer iPhone users. Second, Apple selectively restricts access to the points of connection between third-party apps and the iPhone's operating system, degrading the functionality of non-Apple apps and accessories.
Not to be a dick, not a great public speaker. Like, I know that's not the main part of the job, but ideally when you're explaining your case, like, you don't want people to go to sleep. I feel like I'm in a business class I didn't want to take, but I needed to graduate. G-Dog, this is how I would say Apple's whole system, Apple's whole way of doing business is based off of walls, chains, and weights. I'll even do it without jump cuts because that's cheating. Apple carries out its exclusionary and uncompetitive conduct in 2 principal ways. The first, Apple imposes contractual restrictions and fees that limit the features and functionality that developers can offer iPhone users. And second, Apple selectively restricts access to the points of connection between third-party apps and the iPhone's operating system, degrading the functionality of non-Apple apps and accessories. Hire me. Actually, don't. People on TikTok already think I'm a fed. But basically what Garland's talking about here, it's laid out in the text of the lawsuit. The first point being about Apple's restriction on cloud streaming apps and so-called super apps being a way to ensure user dependence on the iPhone. The second point being about Apple's restriction of third-party access to things like the iPhone's payment chip as a way of hamstringing alternative messaging, smartwatch, and digital wallet technology. Right, and so with that, one of the arguments that Apple typically makes here in defense of all these policies is that they're a way of making iPhones more secure than other smartphones. And in fact, a spokesperson said just that in a statement this morning, saying the lawsuit threatens who Apple is as a company and adding that if successful, it would hinder Apple's ability to create the kind of technology people expect from, where hardware, software, and services intersect. Though notably, with all this, we're not going to see a resolution for years probably. And at this point, it's unclear exactly how this lawsuit will affect Apple or consumers. Force changes, fines, a public spanking of Tim Apple. Also, yes, I know his name's Tim Cook. Let me have this. But for now, we'll have to wait and see what happens beyond. Oh, good, it's down 3.6.
Yeah. Philip DeFranco is a little annoying. We get that. All right, last video.
Should they vote for this?
Under no circumstances should House Republicans vote for this bill. It busts the spending caps, funds the FBI headquarters, doesn't secure the border. Wait, what does this have to do with... Guess. You said Sondsol is moving out of Texas because they banned porn. This video isn't about porn, is it?
They should call their members of Congress right now. They should tell them that under no circumstances should they vote for this bill. They should melt the phone down and melt down the phone lines and the emails and the texts and all of that. And I mean that. I mean that today. Call today and make sure
It busts the spending caps, okay? Funds the FBI headquarters, okay? Doesn't secure the border. There's another bill on the floor that you guys could vote for, but you guys are refusing to. Funds the World Health Organization. That's a good thing.
every member of Congress feels the pain.
earmarks in it for abortion facilities.
That
Good.
they should not vote for this bill. And if we can somehow stall this bill out today, because it's going to take, it's being put
I'm
up
about
on
to get high,
suspension
too.
of the rules, which, by the way, is a travesty. It's being put up with less than 24 hours to read it, which is a travesty.
That shouldn't be allowed, I don't think. That's something I'll agree with them. They should be given at least 48 hours.
It busts the cap.
No, they should be given ample time to read the bill.
Which is a travesty, funds the FBI headquarters, doesn't secure the border, funds the World Health Organization. I can keep going. Earmarks in it for abortion facilities in the Northeast. Just total abomination. We should oppose it. It takes 2/3 of the House to pass it. So all we need is about a half of Republicans, give or take. It might take a little bit more than that, but 3/4 of Republicans to oppose it, and we can kill it. So we should rise up and say, Mr. Speaker, no deal. Republicans should feel the pain for voting for this bill.
All right. I love you guys very much. I'm tired. I need to eat. I have a girlfriend downstairs. She brought me a large alcoholic drink. I'm very ready for that. So I'm going to raid you guys out. JStalk is live, so I'll be sending you guys over to him. Yeah, I don't have anything else. I'm tired as fuck, okay? Love you guys very much. Porn story, send me that in DMs because I'm just curious. What are you drinking? I have no idea. I told my girlfriend to get me a Lime-A-Rita just for the memes, but it looks like they didn't have Lime-A-Ritas there. Tell her I said hi. I will, Abby. All right. I love you guys very much. It has been a fun stream. I will catch you guys probably not until Monday, but it's possible. It's possible I stream tomorrow, but I don't know if I will. But yeah. Anyways, rating guys into JStalk. I love you guys very much. Catch you guys next time.